Good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight. My name is Sharon Chomdisha. In UBC News Tonight, Museveni wishes Muslims a profitable fasting season. Government to pay Bugia landslide victims of 17 million Ugandan shillings each. And later on, 2 Karuma electricity transmission lines commissioned. While in our sports, Tanzania beats Cranes by 1-0 in AFCON qualifiers. Hello there, you're watching UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m. My name is Sharon Chomdisha. In UBC News Tonight, President Museveni has sent a message to the Muslims community as they start the holy month of Ramadan, encouraging them to deepen their faith and draw closer to Allah. He emphasized the need for individuals and communities to strive towards both spiritual and material fulfillment by working towards peace, unity, development and socio-economic transformation. The president urged Muslim families to build prosperous lives by creating profitable enterprises in various sectors of the economy to meet their material needs and contribute to society's development.
As you commence this holy month of Ramadan, I wish you a peaceful and blessed period of prayer and fasting. Ramadan gives you an opportunity to strengthen your faith in Allah and contemplate on His teachings in the Holy Quran. It helps you to draw closer to Allah, who is the provider of all earthly blessings. May your humble prayers to Allah trigger renewal and transformation in your lives, families, and communities.
In more stories, President Yoweri Museveni has appealed to the regional procurement entities to prioritize local content by awarding government contracts to competent and qualifying local companies. Vice President Major Jessica Lupo represented the president at the ongoing EAC Procurement Forum and urged entities to advance the agenda of integration in the East African community.
This event is a great opportunity to showcase the potential of the region, considering that our country spends over $100 billion every year through public procurement. The theme for this forum is, open contracting as a vehicle for sustainable development, Open contracting has been looked at as a game changer to enhance transparency in public procurement. We want to ensure that the public has access to information about all the government projects and contracts. Uganda has shifted focus from the traditional public procurement system to electronic government procurement, EGP, as one of the key public procurement management reform initiatives to transform government service delivery. At the moment, 36 government entities are fully utilizing the system, and the country expects full rollout by the year 2025. Local content promotion is part of the NRM manifesto to foster growth and the domestic industry, increase production and support local entrepreneurs. In 2018, Uganda's Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets Authority issued guidelines to promote local content in public procurement. A guideline on reservation schemes to promote registered associations owned by women, youth, and persons with disabilities is being finalized. I am sure that the interaction and knowledge you have shared during your stay here will help you to explore opportunities which will encourage trade in the East African community.
And for coming, for joining us this morning.
Moving on from the President, the Ministry of Energy has commissioned the 132 kV all-wheel power substation in Waya district, which is one of the interconnections of the 600 megawatts Karuma Hydro Power Project. The Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabira, urged the business community to leverage on this development to spur economic and industrial transformation of the West Nile region.
The commissioned 1 trillion shillings Karuma Orio substation has an installed high voltage capacity of 132 kilovoltage.
Substations, which are infrastructures that receive power from a generation plant for onward transmission or distribution to the last mile consumer. We are now commissioning it. That means that the project has got all the required establishments to receive power from Karuma substation.
The double circuit of Karuma interconnections include 55-kilometer Karuma Orio and Karuma Lira transmission lines.
The fact that the one unit of the generation plant was synchronized with the network yesterday, this gives us confidence that the project is actually coming to an end.
The Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabira, assured the business community of reliable power once this infrastructure is linked to the national grid.
Just come and begin the investment because power will be stable and it will be the required amount. If you are engaged in maize meal, in productive activities, we are coming to you. We have a program called the Parish Development Model, where we expect to see value addition centers at the parish level. That is where we are going.
Leaders in the region want special electricity connection policy to facilitate power utilization by communities.
Kole and Lira, which will spur development in the entire northern Uganda. I want to say this is the beginning of transformation of lives of the people of West Nile region.
This project of constructing Karuma interconnections has faced challenges of land acquisition, vandalism, especially damaging erected towers.
Karuma Kawanda had been completed, only that we had 5 towers vandalized, and those are going to be redone, the 5 towers. So in the entire interconnection that was set up for this project, it is only the Karuma Kawanda that has delayed because of the vandalism.
The powering of this interconnection is pending for the full operationalization of the 600 megawatt Karuma hydropower project, which is undergoing unities synchronization. The one unit of Karuma is operating with production capacity of 40 megawatts to the national grid. Abdul Nasser Lubwama, for UBC.
People settled in landslide-prone areas in Elgon region are to receive a compensation package of 17 million Ugandan shillings to relocate to areas of their choice. This program is being implemented by government with support from Give Directly, a non-profit organization, and this is what we have on that story.
Give Directly is to provide 7 million to each vulnerable household to facilitate relocation to safer places. The government of Uganda will top up the package with 10 million to make a total of 17 million to each. The Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, held a meeting today to harmonize and confirm the list of the beneficiaries.
Uragawa. Owo kuragawa labyewo. Olaba ogenda. Eyo wagenda yotya. Wagendayo otya? Wazaalibwayo? Bambi. Kakati obadde oyogera ne Prime Minister wa Uganda.
This marks a shift from the earlier approach where the affected persons were relocated to locations identified by the government. This included Bunambutia in Bulambuli and Chiliandongo districts. Cash transfers to the respective beneficiaries will be done through Post Bank. The Prime Minister put emphasis on verification of the beneficiaries before any cash transfers are made.
We need to scrutinize the lists together. After the director has given their part, the office of the Prime Minister will also do the needful.
Vacating landslide-prone areas will be voluntary. The process will start with those willing to accept the compensation of the 17 million per landlord.
I'm happy to report that we've already censused or visited over 2,100 households in Busia. Just a bit of a summary, Honorable Prime Minister. The sub-count is mapped so far at 12. That's 91 villages, which is a total of 2,116 households out of a targeted 2,050.
The Prime Minister appreciated the manner in which the data of the beneficiaries was captured using Google Mapping. She recommended that Google Mapping should be used to identify the parish development model beneficiaries in the country.
And then so you have done a good job.
I don't know the numbers we are dealing with, but there are two categories. One, those people who have already been affected, and then two, those who are prone, those who could be affected this evening or tomorrow.
In another development, the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, held a meeting to resolve a governance crisis in Busia District local government.
Politics is not about how many books you read. No. It's not about the knowledge you have. It's about helping the people, articulating people's issues properly and looking for solutions. Finished. Never you should have double with it. Not only to go to politics is about knowing people's issues, looking for solutions. Period.
Rampant corruption allegations were identified as the leading cause of trouble in the district.
Leaders, we must swallow our pride and ego and allow Busia to move. The more we work for people, the pride for our ruling government. But let us be leaders who listen.
The meeting was attended by a cross-section of Busia District Council leaders and the State Minister for Regional Cooperation, Honorable John Mulimba. Doreen Nasasira reporting for UBC News.
The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has lauded the community-led learning initiative implemented by Strengthening Education Systems for Improved Learning Program and the Ministry of Education and Sports since 2021 with support from the United Kingdom. Take a look.
Community-led learning was initiated by United Kingdom's CECIL program in response to the COVID-19 pandemic to support remedial learning for young learners, Primary 1 to Primary 3, and enable continuity of learning when children were not in school. It also complements learning in school for those at risk of dropout and supports children gain foundation literacy and numeracy competencies. The low-cost effective approach to remedial learning, which fully involves the communities, is implemented in 20 local governments in the West Nile and eastern regions of Uganda and has been able to support over 260 children. While meeting the British High Commissioner to Uganda, Her Excellency Kate Aire, and a team from the CECIL program at State House Nakasero, Mrs. Museveni particularly appreciated community-led learning because it happens at the grassroots level and helps to bring parents into education of their children.
First of all, it happens at the local level, at the grassroots level. It helps to bring the parents into the education of their children, which is what we've been trying to do. to convince our parents that their role is very important in the education of their children. But because this program actually goes into the community, the parents are right there. And now they are giving an opportunity to play a role. It gives the parents the confidence to know that they have a role to play in the education of their children. And when they do come in, then education is interesting for their children. The children gain confidence indeed, as the girl was saying.
The First Lady was grateful to Cecile for introducing committed learning at the time when there was a challenge for children to access learning owing to the closure of schools during the COVID-19 pandemic.
I really value the community-led learning, and even right from the beginning, I wished we could take it across the country, but we have it in the ministry. We will see what we can do.
Her Excellency Kate Aire, British High Commissioner to Uganda, said that the United Kingdom has invested about £42 million to support foundation learning and access to affordable education for the vulnerable.
Thank you again. As you are fully aware, Honourable Minister, the UK invested around £42 million to support the foundation learning, girls' secondary school education and access to affordable education for the vulnerable. But as we worked very closely with your ministry and with you personally, Honourable Minister, we were able, in response to the COVID pandemic, to really look about how we shifted that focus of Cecil, shifted that focus of support to remedial learning through a fairly innovative approach on community-led learning program across 15 local governments.
The Cecile program, which is now in its final year and closes in September, has since 2018 been working closely with the Ministry of Education and Sports to improve quality and equity of measurable learning outcomes for girls and boys at lower primary level in Uganda. In a presentation by the National Coordinator, Cecile Sami Musoke said that their community-led learning ensures a maximum of 20 learners in each class, who are given 2 hours of literacy classes and 2 hours of numeracy classes per week by trained volunteer facilitators from the community. Community-led learning is implemented in Yumbe, Moyo, Adjumani, Arua, Madiokolo, Terego, Obongi, and Marachi districts in West Nile, and in Kapchora, Kweni, Buko, Sironko, Budadi, Busia, Toro municipality, and Toro districts in the eastern region. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
In more stories, Parliament has faulted the Minister for Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Monica Msenero, for usurping the powers of her former accounting officer. This follows investigations into the Auditor General's forensic audit report on COVID-19 funds. Take a look.
The Minister for Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Monica Msenero, showed the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee 4 mice to enhance her explanation on the status of the COVID-19 local vaccine manufacturing.
So that you see the rats, the heat I think is too much. See they are hiding. You are missing. How many? In here I just brought some to show you what they are. I've only seen one.
The 4 mice were purchased at 8 million shillings each for use during vaccine manufacturing process in Uganda.
Before the heat was hot, so the heat. You think if we've now multiplied them.
I have not. They are underneath. In total, you have how many?
Yeah?
How many do you have now in Makele?
Here I have 4. I don't know how many are there. Buja kuduka now.
And you brought how many?
I brought 4.
No, from...
We bought 4.
They are not coming out. I only see one.
Now, these mice are actually, there are over 1,000 different types. Yeah, because although they even look the same, the ones used for vaccine, they are modified. They are genetically modified. They have some genes of human being. Because the normal ones, if you infect them with COVID, it doesn't make them very sick. So these ones are modified. So part of the lab animal house is to build that capacity in the country for us to pick this one and change it.
The accountability for the 31 billion supplementary budget to facilitate the vaccine manufacturing has since remained an issue, putting Dr. Monica Musenero on spot. In May 2022, a select committee of Parliament faulted Dr. Monica Musenero over corruption and failing to account for the funds. In the recent Auditor General's forensic report on the utilization of COVID-19 funds, John Mwanga asserted that Dr. Monica Musenero failed to provide accountability documents including for Preside, Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, and the adjusted budget for the lab animal house. Dr. Monica Musenero admits not harmonizing with the former permanent secretary in the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, David Obong, to manage part of the funds.
For purposes of the Public Finance Management Act, Obong was your boss. As long as you have anything to do with public finance, Obong is above everybody in the ministry. Okay.
I received a letter. I got the officers working to provide the documents. I gave him a call.
And you know we are dealing with an email from you. It is a personal email.
I gave him a call. He was not well at that time. That's why I make reference to that.
It is on record that part of the mismanaged funds also include for salaries of scientists who have since lost jobs and some have already died of stress.
And we also observed that some of the issues raised were not indicated in the report presented to us. So it shows that there is a big challenge and there is no coordination between the Auditor General's office and the Permanent Secretary and the Minister in charge.
The Public Accounts Committee, Central Government, is chaired by Busiro East Member of Parliament, Medad Lubega Segona, Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Daniel and Gloria. Female candidates have performed better than their male counterparts in the just released 2022 Uganda Allied Health Examination results. The Executive Secretary, Uganda Allied Health Examinations Board, Joseph Agondua, says that out of the 3,175 candidates that passed, 1,760 females passed compared to 1,677 males. Take a look.
The 2022 Uganda Allied Health Examination results have been released with female candidates performing better than their male counterparts. The Executive Secretary Uganda Allied Health Examinations Board said that there has been general improvement performance in the examinations.
An increase of 5% in the overall performance of candidates was observed. The female were 1,760. And of this, a bigger proportion, that is 82.5% passed. The male that passed, they were 1,677, which is 77.1%.
The three program categories of higher diploma, diploma and certificate register average enrollment, though the number of higher diploma entrants remains low.
Reviewing curricula to allow enrollment of direct entrants and certificate holders into these higher diploma programs. Lobbying scholarships and continuous sensitization about these programs.
It is during the release that the board chairperson requested for more funding, especially towards the completion of the administration block.
We are requesting that when it comes to health training institutions, because of the workload, to make sure and the workload that is involved and the effort that is needed to make sure that we get competencies well mastered by our students, we need enough funds.
Successful candidates were asked to register with the Allied Health Professional Council to prepare to serve their communities. Miriam Wumcha, UBC News.
Now, the Ministry of Education and Sports has called upon boys and men to indulge in the fight towards menstrual hygiene to curb on the stigma experienced by girls and women during their monthly periods. This was communicated by Saidi Nsamba, the Senior Education Officer, counselling during the conclusion of a one-month campaign of Soloza Always, aimed at keeping the girl child in school, held at Luzira Secondary School in Kampala District.
Has been because of my hard work.
Over 600 schools across the country participated in the Soloza Oris campaign aimed at keeping the girl child in school. The initiative, spearheaded by Oris Company, involves collecting empty Oris packs. At least 1.4 million empty packs were collected by various schools.
We had more students participate, and needless to say, more schools, because we went regional. Where we had 197 schools participate last year, this time round we've had 671 schools participate.
If women get education, it creates nation. So they get education about their problem, and we have the solution. Always is given solution internationally everywhere.
The Senior Education Officer Counseling and Guidance at the Ministry of Education, Saidi Nsamba, asked boys and men to join the campaign aimed at fighting the stigma against girls during their periods.
So if you want to influence certain things with the culture, especially cultural attitude, stigma and other issues related to menstruation, then the boys are key. So that as they grow up, they are being brought on board to support the girls and women in whatever they are going through, for the girls to be able to support them, because women tend to be the pillar of the family. So we can't achieve much without really enhancing the girls and women, and we can't achieve that without the boys.
The headmaster Zira SS Peter Senyimba applauded the Soloza Oris initiative.
And to appreciate them for this initiative. You're actually partners in educating the girl child of this country. I can assure you, these girls have been greatly boosted not to miss a single day because of your initiative.
Some of the beneficiaries of the campaign were awarded with laptops, school fees, a full year supply of sanitary wear, among others.
And I'm really happy I have got everything. I'm so grateful. I thank God, and I thank my senior woman teacher for her support, and I thank the Oris company for bringing up such a campaign for everyone to participate.
In attendance were senior women teachers who cautioned the students to focus on their studies.
One, be confident, resilient, hold on, stick to what is true. Do not feel so bad or give up because of the menstruals that you may go through. It is normal and part of the cycle.
It is very, very important for the guardians to come in, for the spiritual leaders to come in, for the school leaders to come in and comfort these girls, because it is very important. When you educate a woman, you educate a nation.
Among the schools who also won the campaign were Sacred Heart Mushanga, St. Catherine SS Lwila, Soroti Municipal SS, Lubaga Girls and Kansanga Seed School. In a bid to conserve the environment, the empty Oris packs collected will be recycled. Rebecca Nantongo, UBC News.
The State Minister for Tourism and Etiquettes, Martin Mugara, has asked Ntoroko district residents to embrace parish development model, money to reduce household poverty in the district and the entire region. This was during the official opening of Karungutu Sacco Bank House and Monitoring Government projects in Ntoroko district. We're sorry about that. We'll have that story later on. But moving on from that, experts and authors have warned of reducing reading culture among university students, that it may lead to produce inequality generations. This has been disclosed during the second conventional library workshop and book exhibition intends to enhance reading culture among university students at a function held at Islamic University in Uganda, Chibuli campus.
Majority students in higher institutions of learning across Africa have repeatedly not fully embraced the reading culture, according to experts and authors. This was during the second conventional library workshop and book exhibition session, where it was disclosed that poor reading culture may lead to produce low-quality generations.
They decide basing on gambling, because when someone doesn't have information, then it means whatever they are deciding on is gambling. Okay? Because when you have information, you have a foundation of informed decision to take up the decision. So if you're making a decision but you don't have the information, then that is called gambling, which means you're trying here and there, here and there. One, you're wasting your time. Two, you're going to fall into problems. When you have a lot of problems in life, it means you do not read.
Mariam Naguja, a book author, says parents should take part in encouraging children reading and writing.
People have a poor reading culture for the reason one, the upbringing, because if the parenting doesn't foster readership, it's very hard for somebody in the adult age to get the skill. Reading is a skill, reading the spirit, but it is developed from the foundation of youth and of that infance.
Dr. Madina Nabukela appealed to authors to translate scriptures into different local languages to enable all people have access.
Today, many people have started authoring a lot of information. Previously, every information you would read even about Uganda is from America, or someone has authored from America, from UK, from Canada, from Scandinavian countries, from Germany. Today, we are writing our own story. We have really tried. Of course, it is not up to where we want it to be, but there is progress now. There is good progress.
Some of students who attended the convention highlighted challenges faced in accessing books. Among those is being expensive.
As of now, and it's the mandate of the university to change the reading culture in universities.
Authors have tried to reduce the prices of the books that they have written. So this is a great importance that we have gotten in our university, and indeed it is a landmark in our institution.
Students from different universities attended the second conventional library workshop and book exhibition held at IUIU Chibuli, Kampala campus.
Now, Mapera Bakatayamba Home in Nalukolongo has benefited from generosity of Disney Junior and Daycare Foundation. We have a detailed report on this story.
Thank you. How are you? You are very smart.
Friday morning found learners of Disney Junior and Daycare Foundation at Mapera Bakatayamba Home in Nalukolongo.
We decided to come and visit or to have this charity to the elderly because we want to instill a heart of love, a heart of giving to the poor or to the needy. So we want these children to grow up knowing that there are some other people out there who need our help. So we prepared them this day to come and visit this home.
The learners are delivered several goodies to the Bakatayamba at the center that is currently home to 75 disadvantaged people.
We thank you so much, the teachers, to instill, to bring these children here to visit these elderly people in this place. What you have done is instilling the good spirit, the good heart of love towards these people. We thank you so much for your support, because when you have come with some support. So thank you very much. Whenever you want to come here, the gate is open.
Mapera Bakatayamba was started in 1978 by the late Kajino Emmanuel Wamala and has served several thousands. But amidst a generosity like that from the learners of Disney Junior and Daycare Foundation, challenges still exist.
At times, though we have a clinic here, but at times when there are some cases which needs to be referred to big hospitals, taking them to big hospital is also a challenge to us, because clearing the bills is also difficult for us.
Despite a leaning towards the Catholic faith, the Mapera Bakatayamba Home in Nalukolongo is non-discriminative in all spheres, including religion.
Great for all those that are at their home, and thanks to Disney School. Moving on from that, every 24th of March is World Tuberculosis Day, and as Uganda joins the rest of the world to commemorate this day, we look at our country's situation in terms of TB prevalence and treatment. According to the Ministry of Health, Uganda records 90,000 new cases of TB annually, a number that is still very high.
TB is a long-standing illness that primarily affects the lungs in 80% of the patients, but it can also affect other parts of the body.
The most common form of disease is the disease that affects our lungs, especially among the adults. The disease that affects the lungs is the most common type. Over 80% of the TB we see in the country is TB in the lungs. So that is the commonest, but there are other forms, like I said, in the abdomen, in the bones. Once in a while you find such cases. And those who get these types of TB, especially for the bones, the meninges, are those that are immune compromised mainly. We have the elderly, sometimes the children. They find those forms of TB more common in those age groups.
It is an infectious disease that is transmitted through air, coughing, laughing, singing, and talking from an infected person.
That if you have been coughing for the last 2 weeks and more, for more than 2 weeks, you also feel some feverish, please go and tell a health worker that, you know what, I've been coughing for the last 3 weeks, I've swallowed all this amoxicillin, they have given me this, but this cough is not going. Can you investigate me further for my problem of this coughing?
So if you have somebody in the home that has got that TB and has made the germs in the air that you share with them float in the air and you breathe them in, this preventive therapy helps you to ensure that whatever germ that has entered your body you don't progress to disease.
The signs of TB include prolonged cough that does not respond to treatment, unexplained weight loss, night sweats, and loss of appetite. Even when TB is preventable, treatable, and curable, it still remains one of the critical killer diseases. The head of the TB clinic at Mulago Hospital, Dr. Susan Adakun, says on average there are 30 admissions daily.
The situation of TB is that we are seeing increasing cases per day. For example, in our TB unit here, that the lab tests 70 sputum samples for TB daily, and of those 70, 4 of them turn out to be positive.
Mulago TB Clinic has modern GenExpert machines for TB screening. One of the major challenges the Ministry of Health finds in managing TB is finding those who are infected, because out of 90,000 new cases, only about 72,000 are traced, and those who are not found continue spreading the disease.
So let's say if we have 90,000 and then we find, say, 70, that means there's 20,000 there we didn't find. Now the problem with those 20,000 we didn't find, because they are interacting with their friends, they are moving around in the taxi, in the buses, they are drinking a journal, they are drinking with their friends, so they are spreading further. So now the burden is not only them, the 20,000, but also the spread they cause. So you'll find next year the burden is even bigger than 90,000. So that's why we really want to find them as much as possible.
Even for those who are enrolled on treatment, the completion rate is between 6 to 7%, because the treatment takes 6 months, but with improvements in treatment, this time is likely to reduce.
The treatment of MDR-TB is long, from 9 months on the minimum to 20 months on the maximum. And currently we're using drugs where the duration has been long,
and therefore some patients were not completing their treatment. But recently, the World Health Organization has given us new guidelines where they have reduced the duration of treatment to 6 months. So we have 6 months and only 4 drugs: bedaquiline, Procurement, linezolid, and oxyfloxacin. And we hope that this shortened treatment of fewer drugs will actually improve treatment outcomes, and that our patients will all be able to complete their medication.
Some patients shared their experiences on how they discovered that they had TB. Namuli Winfred successfully completed the treatment, and now her life has come back to normal.
After having fallen sick for a long time, suffering from heavy cough, I tried to treat it in various clinics and hospitals. Then I decided to go to a bigger health center. That was Naguru Health Center, China, Uganda. Doctor directed me to go for CBC. That's where they sent me to Uganda Care, and Uganda Care has forwarded me to the TB clinic. Yeah, there from the TB clinic, I was removed aspartame. They told me to come back the next day. So a doctor told me from that beginning that I was found PTB positive, and she told me that I shouldn't worry because TB can get cured so long as I follow her instructions and take very well the medicine.
However, stigma and discrimination also contribute to the frustration of TB management. Initially, people thought that every person with TB has HIV, but according to Ministry of Health, only 32% of TB patients have HIV and close to 70% have no HIV.
Actually, most of my friends discriminated me, but like I had some church members whom I could pray with. They could come and encourage me, plus the advice of a doctor, so I couldn't mind them. Those who could discriminate me, I just had to fight for a chance to have my life again.
People should know that TB is a disease like any other. Like we even have the good thing, you know, now with HIV, it's no longer stigmatized like it used to be in the past. People would even fear to go to the clinic because of HIV. So the same with TB. Let's not stigmatize the people. Anybody can get TB, and anybody can be treated for TB and you recover fully. So
the United States Agency for International Development supports the Ministry of Health to strengthen TB case detection through the CAST TB program. In a nutshell, TB is a disease that can be prevented, treated and cured, and therefore government needs to ensure that screening and treatment services are scaled up, but also the individuals need to seek care in case they notice signs pointing to TB, with a common sign being a cough and exceeds 2 weeks. I'm Nafka Farida and Nalongo Rose Bukira in Kampala.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom Voice Bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 100 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 100 star 10 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 100 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
With God, comfort replaces pain. Peace replaces confusion. Hope replaces sorrow. God loves you and knows you personally. He hears you and speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come hear the words God has for you. Watch the General Conference on Sunday, 2nd of April.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Bang Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava. Best movies I teach you. When I go to which the school, because of the camera is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs, and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru, and Umaru refused to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru,
okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
Thank you so much for still watching UBC TV. In our business stories, Enterprise Uganda and Absa Bank have signed Memorandum of Understanding that will see the two organization partners to offer micro, medium and small enterprises, businesses, development services and financial literacy. The Entrepreneurship Empowerment Initiative will cover 9 districts in a period not less than 3 years.
The partnership will see over 1,000 micro, small and medium enterprises from Jinja, Mbale, Lira, Arua, Hoima, Fort Portal, Mbarara, Masaka and Kampala empowered to boost their entrepreneurship awareness, business growth and sustainability.
Very excited about the impact that this is going to have on the SMEs that we shall be touching. As we embark on the upcountry, on the upcountry journey, and just to talk briefly about that, most of the programs that that institutions tend to run, they focus around Kampala, and the upcountry towns tend to get left out. So the focus for this partnership is really going to be for the entities that are currently doing business, upcountry.
This initiative comes at a time when most MSMEs in the country that were adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic are struggling to return to profitability and thrive.
This intervention is so timely because they need this support. They need to be supported to begin to reposition their businesses and, capitalize. They're looking for financing. They're looking at everything has changed within the businesses. So it's a time where businesses are just recovering. And so this is really very, very critical for our businesses to be able to help them to grow, because a number of them are struggling. Very few came out strong out of these sectors that were not disrupted. Maybe the food sector. A few sectors were not that disrupted, but a number of sectors were actually totally disrupted, and they're just struggling to come in. So I think that this is very timely.
SMEs remain Uganda's engine of growth. Over 2.5 million people, accounting to approximately 90% of the entire private sector and generating over 80% of the manufactured output that contributes 20% of the GDP.
Government is focusing on mainstreaming and delivering mass business development services to micro, small and medium enterprises. So what we are doing is in alignment with government policy, and I think we need to applaud the bank for actually supporting government in driving that agenda.
The two entities commit to providing businesses with critical advisory services to upskill them for success. Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too! Dial *100 *10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100 *10 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100 *10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
In our international stories, King Charles III's visit to France has been postponed after a request by President Emmanuel Macron, Downing Street says. Now, the French president said we would not be serious and would lack common sense to go ahead after unions called a day off of pension protests during the visit. The trip to Paris and Bordeaux has been due to begin on Sunday, but both cities were caught in violence on Thursday, some of the worst since demonstrations began in January. Buckingham Palace said the decision to postpone the three-day visit by Charles III and Camilla the Queen Consort was due to the situation in France. Their Majesties greatly look forward to the opportunity to visit France as soon as dates can be found, the statement added. Now, speaking at the end of an EU summit in Brussels, President Macron said that from the moment on Thursday night when the unions announced another day of action for Tuesday, 2 days into the state visit, he felt it would be inappropriate for the King and Camilla to travel.
With freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21 hash or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
From the sports desk today, Uganda has lost 1-0 to Tanzania in the African Cup of Nations qualifier home game that was played at the Suez Canal Authority Stadium in Ismailia, Egypt. Both the Cranes and the Taifa Stars started off slow, playing a pacey game and ending the first 45 minutes 0-0 with a few chances from both sides. In the second half, the heat was turned up with Tanzania proving the better side, creating more chances and eventually getting a goal from Simon Suva in the 68th minute. Uganda tried to come back with substitutes Isma Mugulusi and Alan Okello, trying to find the goal. However, the opportunities were not clinically enough to give Uganda a goal. Tanzanian defenders Bakari Nanoda and Novatus Dismas proved a headache to the Crane strikers, blocking a number of balls from reaching the goal. In the end, Tanzania came out on top with 1-0 and all the 3 points. Uganda last qualified for the African Cup of Nations in 2017 after 39 years. Uganda will play Tanzania in Dar es Salaam this month on the 28th of March 2023. Now, Uganda is set to participate in the All-Africa Darts Championship come next year after a very impressive performance in the just concluded Continental Championships in Egypt. Uganda managed to scoop various trophies in both male and female categories. Uganda Darts Association President Engineer Bosco Lepini says that the victory teams from Egypt, Philippines, Germany and among others is testimony that Uganda is ready to compete at international championships. This latest victory follows success in the East African Darts Championship.
The game was very, very tight. We had players from Egypt itself, Bahrain, Philippines, German. So these were very, very, very strong players. But I pray to God. By God's grace, we were able to emerge victorious. I just give glory to God.
And right now, I'm very, very happy. First, I congratulate my employees, Bank of Uganda. They have made me to reach to this stage. They really put sports as a first priority, and they have helped me so much. Thank you so much, Management Bank of Uganda. With that, wherever I go and wherever I tell them that I am going for this event, they are there for me. And that one, I give a distinction to my employees. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have a very big plan. The players themselves, they have seen by themselves that it is possible. We have created for them a route to go and play even at world stage. All these countries that you see that's being played, players from Uganda can go and participate at their will. That is a plus for them. In addition, what we want to do now is to mobilize our sister countries, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, to come together so that we join the World Darts Federation and then we push this game there. There are categories which in the East African tournament which we have been having, we didn't have it. The para darts is a new thing which we need to promote and also popularize.
And lastly now, sports stories. As the Men's Rugby Premier League enters its 11th week, some clubs in the league have partnered with Safe Border to better their transport experience to and from the games for the players and the fans alike. Now, this partnership that was announced by the Legends Rugby Grounds is intended to better the rugby match day experience and the sport at large. Take a look as Kemi Gisa reports.
Ugandan rugby clubs, Cobs, Impis and Warriors have signed a partnership with Safe Border as the official transport partner for the season 2023-2024. Through this partnership, Safe Border will offer discounted rides to players and fans that come to watch the weekend rugby games. Some players will also be onboarded as Safe Border ambassadors, which will uplift their visibility and talent off and on the pitch.
Rugby is putting Uganda on the map. This is a game that brings up people. Now, the fact that a game like this has movement of people and these people already use our platform, we do not have any other reason to lag behind and keep watching and not come on the table and say, you know what, we want to officially work with, especially, let's start with the players. This is in good spirit that we want to see the best that rugby has to offer. And this is where Safe Border comes in handy. It's not just about the rides that we provide, but it's about the value that we all share. And we think that we can make this bigger and better for the betterment of rugby.
The clubs are excited at this partnership and hope it will improve the game.
On behalf of Impis, I feel we are going to increase our fan base and also the players' facilitation, especially transport, as they come through for training. And I hope the sport also grows as a whole.
On behalf of Cobs Rugby Club, we're grateful for this partnership and the bond that we've had. So we're sure we shall grow in spirit and we shall benefit from this.
Look forward to the partnership and we look forward to what we can be able to do together as a unit and ride off into the sunset together.
The Men's Rugby Premier League will return this Saturday 25th March 2023 with several fixtures including Rams vs Impis at Makerere University grounds, Rhinos vs Cobs at Legends, among other fixtures. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
Well, it's definitely time for me to call it a night. Thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Chomjishe. Good night, have a lovely weekend, and God bless. Bye-bye.
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us on free-to-air channel 001, DSTV channel 282, GoTV channel 371, Star Times channel 201, Zuku TV channel 20, and Azam TV channel 350. Even when your subscription expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 100 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 100 star 10 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 100 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
From the blues to the streets of Africa, DJ Santos. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at DJ Santos 256.
Young man, you're too girly. You just a flash it on the whirly. Him have one up here, one down there, one in a Nova, one down a veil. One she's a lawyer, one she's a doctor, one where they work with a little contractor. One down a east, one down a west. Him have one up north and two down south. One a sell cigarette on the roundabout. Lord, hey, young man, you too girly. You just a flash it on the whirly. Young man, you too girly. You just a flash it on the whirly.